up, everyone? So we're back with another video. It's your girl Alicia, and we are going to be going through pretty much like a little bit of my day, and then also I'm gonna leave you guys with some tips on how to heal your gut. Like 4 tips just to like key into every single day. But before we get started, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, save, leave a comment, and send to a friend because we want your friend into this community as well. So I'm just going to prepare some breakfast, and yeah, then we're gonna get started. See you soon. What's up, everyone? Okay, so we're back, and today what I'm just doing right now is essentially just looking at what I have to do for this week going forward, because I start back with my clients for one-on-one personal training, and as well as my figure skaters. So today I'm actually just going to be doing a program. I'm going to be running a program, so I'm going to take you through that of like how that looks and what I do and why I do it this way. And essentially because it's not one-on-one, it's like 1 to 2. So I have 2 clients trained together, so semi-private, and just me by myself training them. And it's husband and wife. I've been training the wife for now a full year, which is really great. Yay! And so her husband is now joining in on the training, and I'm going to be switching up the program for her, so it matches still what she's doing, but it also matches what her husband can do as well. And because I'm not doing a full assessment with him, I'm going to be assessing him through our day 1 of training, and then from there I can mix and match and change things up within the program for him, because I already know what she can do and what she does since we've been working together for the full year. So yeah. Okay, so when it comes to building a program, I always like to look at the person in a whole of what it is that they do for their day-to-day life. So that's including work, that's including what they do at home, if they have children, if it's a newborn, if they have like teenagers, etc. The reason why I do it like this is because I want to keep in mind of that the program that's being built is always going to replicate what they do in their day-to-day outside of the gym. So if they're sitting down all the time, I'm going to be looking at opening up their body a whole lot more, so through the hips, and then if they have some type of injury, I'm always going to think about doing either unilateral work or bilateral work. Most of the time I start with unilateral, so meaning working one side on its own and then going on to the other side, instead of doing bilateral work, which is using both sides at the same time. But depending on the movement, depending on where we're at within the program, that's how I kind of like dilly-daddle between the two. And because it's a strength training program, I'm always going to go for strength and conditioning first, and then I love to play around with like power. I'm not really into just like steady state cardio, so my clients won't really see me doing things like stationary on the treadmill or on like a Stairmaster or something like that. I'm always getting their heart rate up through the movements that they're doing, as well as when it comes to core movements, or just core workouts just in general sense. I never do like sit-ups or only holding a plank and stuff like that. I love putting planks into programs, but they look very different. But in terms of doing core movements, core work, we're gonna do like a cobra hanging plank with one leg up, or elevated plank, or we're going to do bonsu balls, pull-outs, or a lot of the core movement is going to be in our major lifts, like your squats, your deadlifts, your push-pull movements there as well, because we want you, or well, I want my clients to understand mind-body connection and understand how to engage their core in everything they do, so they actually understand that, like, oh, my core means so much more than just doing a sit-up, or doing something that's only targeting the core. We target the core through every movement that we do, essentially. So when I build a program, I love doing it in supersets. So what a superset is, essentially on the program will be like A1, A2, B1, B2. I'll probably, or sometimes I'll do it as like a circuit where it's like A1, A2, A3. So a superset is essentially, you do one movement, and once you're done that movement, you go right into the second movement, and then you'll have your full rest period. Sometimes I'll do a standalone movement exercise within the program. So sometimes the program will look like A1, do like, say for example, in this old program it says cone reaction drill. So I can start with like a conditioning movement just to get the heart rate up, and then I'll go into their superset, which would be like a barbell deadlift and then a chin up. So when I do the programming, when I do the supersets, I look at whole body. And most of the time I don't do split programs where it's just like, this is upper body day, this is lower body day, and then this is like a push-pull or maybe just a full body day. Every single thing is full body because I'm looking at my clientele and what it is that they need. And I usually range around 3 to 4 sets. If they do 2 sets of something, it's usually just based off of if it's more of like a conditioning movement, or maybe just a standalone core movement, and we go from there. And then we look into how are they going to progress through this program. So progressive overload is going to be our key thing that we're going to be focusing on. So progressive overload can look like so many different things. It can look like your range of motion. It can look at the amount of reps that you do, or the amount of sets that you're doing. It can look at your weights that you're going to be lifting or pulling that week. So throughout the program, and I usually do it within a 4-week base program, sometimes 6 depending, because sometimes like anything can happen where like someone might miss a week and I might want to extend that program a little bit longer. So essentially once that's being done, I will play around with it. But each week we're tracking our reps, and I'm going to show you what like the whole full program would look like, and like how I set it up. But each week I track my clients' repetitions. So depending on, say the program says for this rep you have 10, maybe they don't do 10 and they do 8 that first week, and then we push to maybe 8 the second week again, and then the third week go into 10. So that's that progressive overload in that rep setting. But that also can look like, okay, well I did 8 with 30 pounds. I'm going to do 8 with 40 pounds. Next week, 8 with 50 pounds or maybe 55 pounds, depending on how we are feeling during that week, because we want to see that growth there and see our strength go up. So I'm going to be running out the program for both my clients as a semi-private. And again, I always say this to my clients, that the program is not set in stone, meaning that I visualize how my clients are moving after assessment, and then I write their program. And then once we get into the gym, I will play around and see how it works with them. So if the movement is not being pretty much like applied or executed properly, if it's not being executed properly, I will either dial it back into a regression movement, or if that that movement is too easy, we progress it to something else. So there's always room to play within a strength training program when I build them for my clients, because again, it's not Bible, it's not set in stone, and everything is always changing just depending on their stress level for that day, how they're feeling, if they ate, if they got enough sleep. So much things dial into it in a holistic view than just the movement itself. Okay, sorry. So, I wanted to say, I totally forgot that when doing your programming in terms of like building a program for a client for their like movement exercise, always, always, always start off with mobility, because you want to warm up the body, open up the body, so their T-spine, their hips, everything that you can think of. So when they're doing or going into their program of the day, there's going to be a less chance of them being injured. A lot of people will argue that they don't need to warm up and don't have to do mobility. I prefer mobility before, and then stretching, holding a stretch for about 15-30 seconds after the workout is done, because that is more legible. But yeah, so ending off this video, we're going to talk about 4 ways to heal the gut. I'm going to go through this a little bit quickly. There's going to be some things that I'm going to just talk about, but will be on another video to go full depth in. So number one, outside of number one, really and truly, the basis of healing the gut is for us to change our habits. A lot of us are stuck in old habits that we feel that we can't get out of. So changing your habits one day at a time, choosing one thing that you want to work on and building from there, is going to push you along further than you actually thought that you would be when it comes to healing the gut, because the gut and brain axis is very, very strong. And if you don't believe that, I tell you, once you start changing what you put into the body, when we start healing the gut and understanding that the root causes starts in the gut, you'll start seeing a lot of things start to change, from maybe bumps or eczema on your skin or stuff on your face, how you're feeling with your fatigue, your headaches, migraines, maybe candida. There's so many things that start within the gut, which is through the root cause, and just healing it from one step at a time will make a huge difference. So number one on this list, I'm going to talk about whole foods. We want to start implementing more whole foods into our day-to-day eating. Now, if you are if you're constantly eating food that is more highly processed, may not be organic, etc., etc., I would say start off with buying at least one fruit or vegetable that is organic and start implementing it into your day-to-day eating, or changing out maybe the breads that you eat. So just again, one small thing. The reason being is that whole foods provides our body with nutrients like vitamins and minerals, and so much more, probiotics and prebiotics, phytonutrients, and so much more that our body needs. So really implementing whole foods coming into your household, onto your plate, into your body, is going to make such a huge difference than the processed foods that we tend to buy that's quick and easy and on the go. Number two, sounds very, very easy, but this step a lot of us miss out on because we're usually very distracted when we're eating. Chewing your food. You want to chew your food. The number that we're going to look at is around 30 times. The reason why is that we want to break down the food as small as possible, because it's going to help stimulate the gastric juices and digestive enzymes, and so much more within our gut here, in order for our body to absorb the nutrients that it needs. as well. It allows you to be way more mindful when you're eating. I know for myself what I do now, because I've gotten down to the step of chewing my food way more efficiently and breaking it down smaller. Um, I am so much more mindful because I have little to no distraction in front of me. Um, so I know that my food, I'm gonna chew it down, I'm gonna swallow it. I'm going to just like understand, get my body to do what it needs to do, because I'm in that rest and digest mode, essentially. Number three will be taking specific supplements that will help your body repair itself. So within the times of starting with whole foods or adding whole foods into your into your day to day and chewing down your food, if it is an extreme, we want to add in some supplements to help the process go a little bit smoother. So you're looking at like glutamine, zinc, probiotics, prebiotics, licorice roots, digestive enzymes, and again, it's so much more. There will be a video on this, on that topic in itself with supplements, and understanding what each one of them does. So look out for that one. And then last but not least is reducing your stress. Your stress level, when it's on high, we're in that fight or flight mode, and we literally shut down everything in our digestive system. So there's no motility, there's no secretion, and everything just slows down. Your body doesn't want to do anything. Think about when like you're sick or you're nervous, you're having anxiety, and someone's like, "Oh, just eat food." Literally, I know for myself, when I used to go through a lot of anxiety, food was the last thing on my mind, and it felt like trying to force myself. I wanted to throw it back up because nothing is literally working. So we want to be in this relaxed, calm state when we're eating. Again, zero distractions. Distractions are like TV shows, our phones, and all that stuff. When we're reading all this stuff that's like literally amplifying us to be like very nervous, very excited. Our digestive system doesn't know what's happening outside of whatever's going on inside our body. Our body doesn't know how to identify if that stress is good or if that stress is really bad. All it knows is stress. So if we're distracted and we're in a stressful environment, our body is just going to shut down. So when we're in our parasympathetic mode, which is again our relaxed and calm mode, the signals of our gut is going to allow us to secrete the stuff that it needs and allow our digestion just to work properly and be able to hear our body tell us when it's full, when it's like, oh, I think I need a little bit more. So it's just really just tuning into what your body is telling you when it comes to our gut health. So those are the top four right now that I would suggest with looking into and starting. You can choose one of these. I would personally either start with whole food, just grabbing one thing that's new in the grocery store that's going to amplify giving you more vitamins and minerals and other nutrients into your body. And then you can slowly go into, okay, let's focus on the chewing. Let's focus on let's focus on if I'm in a stressful mode or not, what distractions are around me. So choose one and work on it and allow that to become a habit. Allow that to come, I can't even speak today. Allow that to become a habit, and then after add on something else when you know you've gotten down onto a routine with the first thing that you started off with. So that is today's video. I'm Alicia. It's your girl. You know what it is. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, send this to a friend, and save this for later. We want everyone to join in onto this community. Optimize You is my bread and butter, as well as See It Fit. I am a strength coach and soon to be holistic nutrition practitioner, and I'm super excited to have you guys here. Yeah, if you really like this video, please leave a comment. I love the feedback. I want to do more videos like this and help you guys on so many different levels. So when you guys finish watching this video, just leave a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you want to see. I want to know all of this. I want to get to know you. I want you to get to know me. And yeah, so that was today's video. We looked at a little bit of my morning. And then we also looked at how I build a program, just a little bit of a snippet, and then just talking about gut health and certain things that you can do to optimize your day to day. So